Welcome to another episode of Indie Game Lab Studios. I'm Garth, your host slash friendly NPC, and I'm here with Jesse from Triceratops Games. Thanks for joining us, Jesse.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
All right, well, great. So what are we what are we playing today? What is this game?
So this is Triceratops's first game. We call
Okay.
this Journey Adventure Quest. We call it JAQ for short, JAQ, kind of like, frequent asked questions when you say fact like that. So we like to say JAQ. And it is going on a journey. We're collecting equipment. We're building up our armor. We're fighting monsters, doing side quests, all the good stuff that we love from those kind of video games.
Heck yeah. So there's some mechanics in this that I just love. I love the kind of the stacking and building massive spells and making your weapons stronger over time. But we can get into that later. We've got a full table here. We got 6 players today, so that's exciting as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we play 2 to 6 players. The two-player plays a little differently than 3 to 6.
Okay, sure.
We're working on a one-player mode even. But it's a real fun game at 6 players. So it's
Nice.
exciting to get to see all the cards in this version.
That's awesome. Uh, so we don't have to go over all the rules here, but just in general, what are we looking at here? It looks like people have what are these like these 5 or 6 cards in front of every player? The hand or the
So 5 or 6 cards are kind of like a slot. Kind of
okay,
think of it as like if you had a big play mat or something, and it's just slot cards for different areas. So you got a helmet, a chest, a offhand, a weapon, and a belt, and you also have your spell category.
nice.
So people are going to be drafting cards in this game, adding to those piles, making their chest plate incredibly strong. But you don't want to spend all your time on your chest because you also want to put in some effort on your helmet. And to reward, well, not to keep players from being punished at the end of the game, you got to collect one in each slot, or you're going to lose 5 points because you want to be a well balanced player.
Nice. That's okay. That's cool. And then card drafting. So yeah, Seven Wonders comes to mind. It's pretty similar to that, right? As far as the drafting
Yeah,
goes. Yeah.
yeah, I like to say the game is Seven Wonders meets Diablo. So it's we are
Beautiful.
drafting
Yeah.
drafting cards to power up our guy, and then we'll take one and we're gonna put it face down into the slots in front of us. So think of it as going through an adventure in a day, and you're
Nice.
gonna draft one card at dawn, one card at noon, and one card at dusk. And you're gonna put those cards there as you're passing them along. So that's one card from each hand that you're gonna get to do.
Love it.
And so, yep. And so then you get 2 days to kind of prepare for a monster you're going to fight.
Okay.
And then after those 2 days, you fight the monster. Then you get 2 more days, and your monster's going to evolve also. Just like your equipment levels up, your monster's leveling up also, making it
Okay.
stronger to beat.
All right. So nerd regulars of the stream will recognize player red here. This is Nerd, our resident game destroyer. So he's going to be the winner today. We'll maybe follow him closely and see what his strategy is. This is his first time playing, by the way, but I'm just looking forward to him watching him crush all y'all or exploit some weird broken combo that no one else has seen yet.
I'm
uh,
actually uploading a virus to his computer right now.
okay, perfect. Oh yeah, I should mention we're also so aside from Nerd, we're also being joined by the other two heads of Triceratops Games. Is that it's Brandon and Tommy, right? Yes.
Yep.
So welcome,
So
guys, and
Bra-
they're
Brandon is a spectator. He's in the gray, and
oh
then
okay,
Tommy is Kohler. He's the yellow.
okay, perfect. Okay, so I imagine Tommy has played a fair number of games of this.
Yeah, just a few times.
Okay, yeah. Great. So yeah, so you've got a three-person team. That's great. So do each of you kind of specialize? Is there like a designer and a developer and an illustrator and a graphic designer? Like what's sort of your team composition?
Not exactly, but I guess to some degree. I
Okay.
am the designer of the game. Like I
Okay.
kind of made this game and I
Mm-hmm.
showed it to Tommy, and Tommy loved it, and that's kind of how we gave birth to Triceratops. And him and Brandon were good friends,
Nice.
and he said, "Hey man, I got this other guy who's amazing with this kind of stuff. Great with words,
Oh,
and
okay.
great with just I just kind of running a lot of the things that we do. Brandon's been a hero at all our logistics side of communicating with getting the game actually made. I would say me and Tommy would
Nice.
fail horribly at that, but Brandon's been a true hero
Nice.
at just communication and emails and all those kind of things. And Tommy just had a love for the game also, and just really wanted to pour into it. And what's amazing is his daughter did all the artwork, pretty much all the artwork you'll see.
Okay.
So, and we couldn't be more happy with it. Our graphic design guy is Cole. I just found him on Facebook, and he's just been a hero too
Nice.
through all this. And he's done a little bit of our art, like on our spells and stuff. He did the
Sweet.
art for our spells, but all the equipment artwork, Emmeline did, Tommy's daughter.
Wow, that's awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of this art. So far, I haven't seen any cards. Yeah, hopefully the are the players like already drafting? Am I missing that? Oh, because we're not seeing their hands. I see.
No, they haven't actually started yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they right now they got their adventures in the hand. So just kind of like Ticket to Ride, you get some objectives that
Oh,
trying to complete
nice.
throughout the game.
Okay.
So they have their adventures in the hand, and they need to pick 3 of those, and they're going to discard 2, and they're wanting those to overlap the best they can, because if you have 3 offhand items on one card and you also have 2 offhands on another card, that's not 5 offhands. That's just 3 to check that box on both of them.
Okay.
And
Nice.
if they collect all the items on their adventure card, then they get the victory that's stated there.
Okay. Is that the main source of victory points in this game, or is that just kind of a small
I would
bonus?
actually say that's probably somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
The two main sources are the victory points that I would say that are going to be on the cards.
Okay.
So each card has a victory value down in the bottom left,
Okay.
and then also defeating the monsters.
Okay.
They have victory down at the bottom left. As you defeat them, you'll get victory from them.
Okay.
So that's why I really like the drafting aspect of games, because it always pulls you in so many different directions.
Mhm.
Like Seven Wonders, you're like, oh, I can commit to the blues and get the big point values,
Sure.
or you can commit to the greens if nobody else is getting the greens, and then
Yeah.
you just sweep the game. So that's kind of this where you kind of got to be good at all the areas and maybe great in one or 2 areas.
Yeah.
You could actually even fail in an area and still win. But it's just kind of how you're playing based on how other people are playing,
Yeah.
trying to read the table a little bit. But yep,
I gotta say, drafting is one of my favorite mechanics. I love that, like, you're kind of at the mercy of everyone else you're playing with. If someone else is like really, focusing on, I don't know, defense or like helmets or something, like they're gonna be forcing that, and you've got to adjust, right? Or lose.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep. So have y'all all picked your 3 adventure cards and discarded them? So y'all can get started and get rolling?
You would get right here.
Normally we've got Bombard Joe joining us, one of the folks from the stream. He's kind of our moderator. So I've got an extra hat today. I'm trying to focus on chat. And in fact, I'm just paranoid right now, and I'm just going to turn on the audio for our stream for a quick second. You might hear a little thing just to make sure we're all actually up and running, because Joe is usually the one that checks all this. Actually up and running. Okay, I heard myself. We're good. Okay, so it looks like players are kind of underway, huh?
Yeah, I think they're discarding their adventure cards,
Okay,
getting rid of
perfect.
those. We're getting close to probably passing out the first hand.
I want to see some monsters
So-
get slain.
Yeah, so the game is played in 3 rounds.
Okay.
So we can see here our first monster right here.
Yes, here we
It looks
go.
like we're fighting the slime, our blob guy. And so you can see inside of his artwork, there's like a kind of a rusted sword. And so we took that sword as a loot drop. And so whatever player, I don't have, let me zoom in here. Whatever player has the most blood. So it's actually, not good to usually have blood in the game, but this is actually a slight reward for the player with the most blood will actually get to have that card after defeating the monster.
Okay.
And you don't actually have to defeat the monster after the round of battling the monster. If you can't defeat it, you could still actually earn this. You could kind of think about it. Your friend's carrying you through a boss battle, and you get to pick up the loot.
Nice.
So whoever's got the most blood will get to receive that and add that to their weapon stack.
Okay, and that's that like blood icon below the art on the corrosive claymore.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that is correct.
Nice. Cool. We've got all sorts of icons and stuff. Yeah, we haven't looked at the card yet. So what are we looking at this corrosive blob? What are we like? There's a lot of things going on in this card.
Yeah, so on the blob here, you see he's got 2 health out to the side. He's got 2 knowledge,
Okay.
and he's got 1 attack, but then he's got a little flag that sticks out. That's 1 more attack.
Okay.
A lot of our cards have little flags that stick out because that's why when they're covered up with another card, you actually lose
yeah.
whatever that bonus or negative might be. So that kind of allows us to balance our monsters a little bit better because if it was a 2-2-2 throughout the whole game, it would be pretty difficult to power scale that. So this
Okay.
allows us to power scale for the time being, and then he'll get covered up with the second level of monster and he'll lose that 1 bonus attack.
Nice.
So for fighting purposes right now, they have to have 2 attack to beat the 2 health, and that all parallels straight across.
Okay.
And then so attack to health, then our knowledge to his knowledge. So you need 2 knowledge to be able to beat it. And you're going to need to block 2 defense. He's got to have 2 attack. You need 2 shield to block it.
Okay.
But
So
you don't actually need that.
Ties across the border.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Then.
Yeah, ties
Okay.
are across. Yeah, that's perfectly good.
Okay.
You can see that little rip in the flag. We put that rip there to indicate that you actually don't need to block his incoming attack to defeat him.
I see.
You only need to. If you can't block it, you just take blood.
Okay.
So you'll just take 2 negative victory if you can't block his 2 attack. If you can only block 1, you take 1 negative victory.
And you might not want to block for this first round anyway. Get that sword and
Yeah. That's definitely a strategy of maybe I won't draft any shield so I can guarantee I have 2 blood on me.
All right. Is that sword worth it? What do we got here? Okay, 1 attack and 1 victory at the end of the game. Nice.
It's a very minor. I mean, that's fairly about the basic of basic.
Okay.
It is a permanent. We call that left banner permanent stats because they do get to hang around as you stack more on there, which is nice. But it's early in the game. Having that 1 extra attack could be nice.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can't blame that sword. I mean, it's been stuck in this blob's belly for who knows how long. Rust will get anything with enough time.
Real quick, anybody wants to put their adventures, you can put them in front of you, and that's a hidden area only for you to see.
Yes, Hidden Zones, one of the tabletop simulators most prized and sometimes wonky zones. Okay, so
the adventure cards are just kind of like that's private. You only
Sure.
And at the end of the game, you'll show whether you completed them or not.
I'm so tempted to just peek at nerds, but maybe I shouldn't. The players can hear us chatting, so I'm not going to try to give away too much information. Although I don't think nerd would be too hurt by having a bit of a handicap.
So it looks like we're just still waiting on 1 player to pick his Dawn card.
Okay.
So
the players are putting their cards out in this Dawn section as they draft it.
Yep.
And then
draft it.
Yeah. After.
Yeah, I'll do that now. I've been fiddling with my other cards. So.
Okay. And then after they draft, ooh, what's that? Was that a face-up card or something?
So whatever cards are in your hand, you're just selecting one of those and putting it face down into your. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, it looks like we're still waiting on 1 here.
I need to pick one. Well, the stuff I'm seeing, I have played this game before, but I've only played it on Tabletop Simulator once, so I apologize. But where are the cards on the table that I'm choosing from for my Dawn? Is it this one here?
No. It's in your hand.
Yeah, it should be your hand.
Right. Okay, my apologies.
By the way, Dragon.
Before I swear.
By the way, Dragon, you should probably put your quest cards in your hidden zone so they don't get put aside. Or I don't know what happens next.
All right, so he's 2, 2, and 1. Okay, it's all coming back.
Oh yeah, I see.
And so each of the cards as they draft them has a cost associated with them in the top right corner that they're going to have to pay. So honestly, what's cool about this game is it's a drafting game, but a lot of people don't realize just how much of a resource management game it really is. because you're managing your resources to pay for cards, but also you're managing resources to beat the monster. Because some of the things you're going to get are temporary attack and defense tokens that you lose after you battle the monster. Kind of just imagine building up a giant spell and throwing it at the monster when you see him.
Yeah.
No matter how you just throw everything at him,
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same idea when I was playing Diablo. If you cast, if I cast the Fire Hydra, it used the amount of mana it's going to use. I couldn't just say, well, I only need to do 5 damage with it.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You just throw the whole thing at it.
Yeah.
So that's a similar process, and so you'll lose all your tokens at the end of the game. So you want to mean at the end of each round. So you kind of again are trying to manage that. You don't want to have too much of an excess of tokens because it's like, well, there was no point in me drafting that much.
Right. Okay, so everyone's drafted their Dawn card.
Noon.
So now we're on to
and
Noon.
Hold on, Shane. I think you took your other card and put it back in your hand and dropped the new Dawn card.
Sorry, say it again.
You had another card here.
I did, but then I realized I couldn't pay the cost.
Oh, but that was. Oh, whoops! Sorry, past the. Oh, you only had 3 gold. You do have 3 gold.
Yeah, but the cost was gold and blood.
So the blood cost is you take blood. So you don't want blood. So every time you pay a blood cost, is like that means you are adding blood to your pile.
Right. Okay. Which we said might not necessarily be bad this time around.
And then also you want to play your stuff face down, which is F.
Okay, so I need to pay.
You'll pay that after.
You'll pay it when we flip all our cards simultaneously.
Okay.
Yep, here in a second. After we draft Dusk, we'll all flip at the same time.
There we go. Think.
And then Dragon's got some extra cards up here. Are these his secret missions?
Yeah, Wayne. I don't know if.
Yeah, I wanted to discard him. I'm not.
Oh,
I was
okay.
on the other side of the board originally, and I couldn't tell.
These are
Those
discarded.
Are discarded? Okay.
No, those are supposed to be my mission. I don't. There were 3 others in the back corner. Down here.
Oh, you're green though.
Yeah, he's down here in the back left corner, which I can't see.
You should have total of 3. How many do you have?
Oh, yeah, I only have 2.
Hey, these are some new cards. I hadn't seen a lot of these.
Nice.
Yeah, Wayne, if you put them in that green box, they will be hidden from everyone else to see.
Yeah,
So
it was upside down before. I just got everything rotated.
All right, nice.
I got you.
I appreciate being able to look at some of them. Okay.
So if you right click and you can board around. Perfect.
So how long has this game been in development?
So I would say that I started working on it close to 5 years ago.
Okay, nice.
I just kind of always have a game that I'm kind of messing around with,
Yep.
and at the time I was messing around with this other one, and it started triggering some ideas. And man, that's probably around the time 6 or 7, where I played a lot of Seven Wonders, and I really enjoyed it. And I kind of was thinking there, I wish it was themed around something that I liked a little more,
Right.
and there was some objectives that we were all trying to achieve. And I really I personally don't like games a lot when it's like I have my own turn that takes a long time.
Yep.
So that's why I just wanted to design my other game. The turns took a long time, so I wanted to design a game that didn't take a long time to have turns, and we just all played at the same time. So that's kind of how I came up with this idea. And so yeah, I just loved Seven Wonders and how it played, and I was like, well, maybe I can kind of retheme and do some different stuff. And I had that stacking mechanic, and that was one of them I thought about working into my other game.
Okay.
And I was like, this is just really cool, and I think I want to do it in this drafting game, and I thought that would be really awesome. So
yeah, that's super cool.
Yep.
I mean, the drafting.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the drafting simultaneous play is just so key. Like all the players right now that during this drafting phase, like they're just. I mean, maybe once they've made their decisions, they're waiting for players a little bit, but like most of the time, it's just like you're just playing your own kind of game. trying to figure out
Yep.
what cards might be missing from the hand. I mean, it's a little hard to tell, probably, right? Because there's
Right.
you don't see the
So
same
right now it looks.
hand twice.
hmm It looks like we've achieved. Everybody's gotten their 3 cards, so now we'll
Nice.
start the flip process.
Okay,
where
so
they're
now
going to start flipping over. Yep. Get to see some action here.
All right.
So everybody flips their first card.
Okay, let's see what's happening. So Kohler has got is that a main? No, it's an offhand weapon. Grimoire of Souls. 3 victory points, and then what's that? 2 coins?
2 coins.
Yep. And so he gets 2 coins, add a little money to the bank.
Okay, and that just happens immediately as soon as he plays his Grimoire.
Yep.
Perfect.
So it's definitely some accountability. If somebody wanted to cheat in this game, it'd be pretty easy.
Oh,
like
that's my
just
kind of game.
let me just grab a few extra tokens right now.
Nice. Okay, Dragon Tamer starting with a spell. Looks like, is that a spell? Yeah.
Yep.
Confusion.
So he's coming out of the gates with a spell. What's our purple character's name? Stax. Stax has he started with the Dragon Dagger. Also, I'm a Power Ranger fan, so that's the Dragon Dagger. Kind of even got a similar look to
Nice.
my Power Ranger love. But so he's going to put that out, and it actually has some negatives sticking off of its thing. So it's really good to draft it early in the game.
Yeah.
So then when you cover it up, it becomes that much more awesome.
Right.
And that's just and that honestly is just again. The Green Ranger started off evil, and then he became good, and so it's just like a little homage to that kind of idea. But,
yeah, I was totally thinking that far ahead. No, I was like, oh, it's got 2 attack and a knowledge. Yeah, that'll work.
Yep. Yep. So Stacks, you can go ahead and put that out there on your weapon slot. So you drag that out there. Everybody just drag out your thing to your slot that they go to right now. That's your offhand slot, Stacks. The weapon is there you go.
So everyone's
there we go.
Everyone's well on their way to being able to, or some of the people are well on their way to being able to defeat this blob. Like,
Yep. So typically we try to make the first monster able to obtain, but there will be one person who just like, oh man, I didn't get that other knowledge I needed.
Okay.
Wayne, you want to put yours out there in your spell slot?
And then what's Nerd got? He's got it's an offhand melting sapphire.
Yep. And so that one, so you can see it's got a little stick off to the side, but I like this one. So it's the one set of cards in the game right now that just automatically gives you 1 victory token also. And that's more for future expansion stuff, but we wanted to go ahead and include that idea now. So
love it. So 1 victory point, like, so it's worth 2 at the end of the game too. Is there a way you can like lose equipment and stuff? Is that why?
There's not currently, but again, that's what I was thinking is in the future, if you had that stolen, it already gave me 1 victory or something like that.
Got it.
But I personally don't like the backstabbery of games and targeting. Like when I play Settlers of Catan, I just always have this little robber put on me because I play games well. It's just the struggle of being a good gamer. They just target you. I didn't want that in this game.
I don't.
Yep. So we're ready.
On that note, though, everyone has to take blood because of me.
Okay, so we do have a mean player. What do we got here? Volcanic Fireball Crossbow. When flipped, each other player takes blood.
There's a lot of cards I had not seen before.
Oh my gosh, but that crossbow makes you dumber. That's awesome.
Everybody's flipping their second card now. Flippy flip.
Another offhand. Okay, Nerd's just going all offhand. If flipped at noon or dusk, gain coins. Okay, so he already covered up one of his knowledge, sadly, but he's getting a ton of victory.
He did.
But these are worth a lot of victory points, I think.
Yeah, that 4 victory. So the most you'll see at the bottom left on a card is 5.
Okay.
And I would say 4. There's a handful of 4s. There's only a couple of 5s. There's a handful of 4s.
Okay.
So it's really nice to get that and to flip. So you can see he had to pay 1 blood. But 4 victory and 2 coins right now is real nice early game. Just kind of securing moving forward because you don't feel the pressure of the monster right now.
Sure.
So we will see how that turns out though. But nope, I like it. It's a good
Yeah,
card.
he's kind of, so maybe nerd strategy maybe is kind of like rushing victory points. We'll see. What else is everyone doing here? Oop, a spell for proficiency.
All right, so we're on our third card. You can all flip your last one there.
All right. Orange
So,
needs. Did he get there? He didn't. He's one intelligence shy.
they have 3 more cards they get to get before they fight the
Oh,
monster.
oh man. Oh, easy peasy.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So we are 6 cards each round. 6 cards. There's 18 cards at the end of the game.
Nice.
So this is like, you can say this is halftime, and then you're gonna pick. Then we're gonna
Right, yeah.
pass the cards.
Yeah.
Pass the cards that we've been passing around.
Okay.
Right,
So
everybody
So
gets
now
their
we're.
health.
Now,
Oh, go ahead.
did you have a question?
No, I say everybody gets a health back. So that mean blood that.
oh, someone else
Gotcha.
healed? Oh, that's so nice of you.
Yep. Group healer.
Where's that card?
The decay that I played over here on the S stack side.
Okay.
It gave me 4 health back if I would have needed it, and everybody else got 1 health back to spell.
Oh, there
And
we
you
go.
also got got 1 knowledge for playing that.
Got a
So
knowledge out
one
of
of the.
Nice.
Yep.
So one thing I want to point out flavor-wise that I think I played this game 2 or 3 times now, and there's a lot of good flavor in this game. So as it stacks, you'll see that my dragon knife, my dragon dagger is now a dragon shaman fire soul cane. So all the cards that you stack
Yeah.
will work together grammatically, if you will. So they just get more
Yeah.
interesting.
I love
It's
it.
been like one of the things that really impresses me about this game is the amount of polish on both the game mechanics
Yeah.
and the narrative side. It's really well done.
I like it. The strategy is actually, so when I kind of watched the how to play video, I wasn't getting like how much strategy it is, but it's very fun now to see like, like this Fire Soul Cane, you probably don't want to put anything on top of it now because it's going to get a lot weaker. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. It's really hard to draft that one early.
yeah.
And you're just like, because especially if your adventures required you to have some of those like weapons. If you needed 3 weapons, you know you have to get another one, and it's just hurtful.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
and so speaking of that, one other objective that's going on is at the end of the game, you'll see in the middle out here are quest cards. So again, we're called Journey Adventure Quest.
Yes.
So we have our journey deck that's going around that you're drafting from.
Yep.
Then we have our adventure cards, and then these are the quest cards.
Okay.
And so this is like group. As a group, you all can achieve these. So if you draft 4 spells, you can get 7 victories at the end of the game. If you draft 4 offhand, you get 7 victory, and 4 dark, you can get 7 victory. So that's just something else. So you can see Nerd down here, he has already drafted a dark and 2 offhands. So you can see where he's kind of clinched a couple of those spots, just moving in that direction of getting that stuff.
That's beautiful. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, so spells, those are just cards in your spell slot. Offhands, those are just cards in your offhand slot. And then I guess there's like kind of a subclass on cards. And so these darkness cards, they can be in any slot, but they're a special subclass, like this nocturnal taper.
Yeah, and so they kind of break down mathematically. There's just 5 of each. So there's 5 of each color, and 5. So there's 3 sets of 5 of that. But mathematically, there would be the same amount of darks as there are helmets in the game. So
cool.
Just making all that, making it fair. You'd always want it to be like, wait, there's more helmets in the game than there are this. Well, I didn't know that. So I just made sure that always worked out.
No, that's a very good point. That's a way to make it kind of new player friendly, right? Like you don't like new players are kind of going to assume that there's even distributions, and if you've got like, oh no, dark cards are like more rare than the rest, like that's gonna mess with them.
Shane, I'm not sure. You got an extra card. I think that Wayne, you put another card in your hand.
Oh yeah, we've got different hand sizes right now.
Yeah, there's something I don't even recognize. Something changed up or something because I don't recognize. These are
Wayne didn't draft a card, or
here. I'm gonna let Wayne take these cards real quick. Here, Wayne, which one of those were yours? There you go. Resume.
All right, perfect.
Okay, there we go.
So is this the same? Are they drafting from the same hand that was happening at like in the first three?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
you had 7 cards in the first, and so you draft 3 from it, and then you draft 3 more, and then that last one we're going to discard.
Okay. So you never quite see in a 6-player game anyway. Oh no, I guess it's going to be the same for every player count, right? You never get to like in Magic Draft, for instance, in Magic the Gathering, like if you're drafting,
Yeah.
there's a wheel, right? Like where you're seeing like the same hand that you started
Yeah.
with minus 7 more cards.
So in 3 and 4 player, the potential is there.
Okay, nice.
5 and 6, 5 technically you would see 2 of the cards again,
Okay.
but 6 player is the only version you don't. And that's one thing we're adding because I love that. I grew up, this is my love for board games came from
Right.
playing Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering, and I was a big World of Warcraft trading card game player. And so I love that one so much. Like, I mean, I go to Gen Con every year. I played in tournaments, like all that stuff. So I love the drafting, and Magic and World of Warcraft did it so well. And so I love the idea of the wheel. And so in the expansion, I'm really trying to get there. And I think we're going to be able to have 10 cards in our hand in the expansion, so you can see the wheel
sick.
at least a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the hard part of when you try to create a game. You want it in introductory level,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to overwhelm players with so many cards in their hand or those kind of things. That analysis paralysis really does
Right.
hit. If I got 15 cards to look through right now. It is a little more difficult that way. But yeah, we're hoping to be successful in our Kickstarter run, and we already have lots of thoughts for what we'd like to do with the expansion. But yeah, I love the wheel. I love that idea, and maybe they don't need this, and I'll get to see it again.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. Or like I mean, the other thing there is like there's a little bit more knowledge, right? Like now you like kind of. I mean, I guess it's you see halfway. One thing that is cool is you get the knowledge in a different way with this format because you see the first 3 picks of everybody. So that kind of gives you maybe some hints. And plus, I didn't notice these like shared quests in the middle. Like that's also kind of giving you a hint at what other people might be trying to draft. Because I like having just a hint of information about what things might other players be like prioritizing. Yeah.
So the shared quest is really nice if so when you pick your adventures in the beginning of the game, you get to see the shared quest. That's knowledge when you're picking your adventures.
Yeah.
So you may want to overlap them to make it easier to obtain them all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if other people are trying to get those quests in the middle really hard, it makes you more difficult for you to complete your adventures. So I'm just my strategy typically is I don't try to put all my eggs in like one basket.
Right.
I try to spread them around and hope that it works out for the best and I can score points in all areas. And not but if somebody lands that, they usually do win.
Okay.
If they can land all the adventures and line their adventures their quest up with them, that's usually a go big or go home situation.
Sure, yeah.
Hey Jesse, could you go over I think it'd be interesting, but also as a good refresher for me on when you pass a card, you pass cards to the next player over at certain points in the play.
Just after you've selected your card, when you pass the card.
Yeah, just touching on that. That's kind of an interesting mechanic.
You just like the drafting aspect in general.
Well, I really like the addition of this button, right? This makes it super easy in the tabletop simulator, especially to like everyone's finished drafting, hit that button, right? And then everyone's hand changes.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so that is definitely right now we're waiting on just a couple of people to pick their last card, and then we'll be able to flip for the second go. Tommy is a hero, and he's a programmer and did all this stuff.
Yeah.
He did all this, and I just like, man, this is our game is online. Like it's just full on here. Like
heck yeah.
And it's just so cool. And we just have it available for people to play because
that was my next question.
I don't know if if people want to come play it and they love it, we're hoping that they're like, oh well, we want to support them and buy their actual game too.
Yeah.
So that's just really cool.
Totally.
And Tommy crushed this for sure.
All right, Nerd is giving me some secret information about his strategy, so we can watch for that. But I'm not going to say it because everyone can hear me. But I'm excited.
Everybody gets the gold.
Ooh, everyone gains a gold. Oh, are we flipping
Very
over
good.
our...
Yep. So we're starting our next
Nice.
go, and after this, we're gonna fight monsters.
Love it. Okay, so Nerd has equipped a Hurricane Treasured Gale.
Yep, and that is also big
More-
points in the
more
bottom
big
left
points.
corner.
Okay. Let's see if just the point rush wins. That's awesome.
Hey, Tommy, my head's piece is stacked directly.
Just grab it real quick, and then sometimes you gotta move it off a little bit like that. You just grab it off real quick. If it accidentally gets on there, you just grab it. Whoops. Just grab it off there, and then kind of let it drop on the side there.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Lunar Hurricane Visage of Insight. Okay, you're real smart over there. Oh, that's quite a hat you've got. Nice hat. Lightning Mind Storm.
Everybody gets a coin.
Ooh, coins.
Ooh, thank you.
So what happens if you have no coins and you flip over a card that like has a coin cost?
Yeah, that's a good question. So you're able to sell a card at any point.
Okay.
For 2 coins. So if you can't afford a card and you have to be forced to pick one you can't afford,
Okay.
and you can choose, and just because you can't afford it doesn't mean you can't sell it. You can just decide to sell a card,
Okay.
so that way you can afford a card later in that turn.
Okay. Nice. That's useful. Oh my gosh, this Trench of Darkness is ultimate defense as long as it's on top.
Yep.
Nice. Are there secret quests to like collect coins? Because I see Bebo is just hoarding coins over here.
Yeah,
No,
I got lots of gold.
Yeah, there's not an adventure
Okay.
with for gold. In my rough draft of a few of them, we had some things like that.
Okay.
It was a little clunky and didn't feel in unison with everything.
Okay.
But we may see some of that in the expansion for sure.
Nice.
All
right.
So one thing you can notice is it's kind of real hard to see them, but like say these 3 quest cards out here, or the spell card that Nerd just played. Down in the bottom left, you see 2 little hands shaking.
Yes.
On there, it's kind of real hard to see, but that shows us, we call it our non-competitive mode. So on that card in our competitive, it's not the game's still competitive. We just kind of refer to it as that way, but this one helps and gives a coin to everyone. Where in that card in the other version steals a coin from everybody.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
real powerful, and it costs a lot of blood to play, but it's that backstabbery thing. Because I know some people do love it, but some people would rather, hey, can we just have my tableau and you not interfere with what I'm doing? So we have both of those versions, and that's the same with the quest out there.
Yeah.
We have a version of the quest where you just receive points based on how many like the dark would say whoever has the most dark gets 7 points.
Okay.
Whoever has the second most gets 3 points. Instead of it all just being, well, you get what you get.
Yeah, I was just playing Wingspan last night and they do the same thing. They've got 2 sides of like the mid-round goals. It's either just a threshold that everyone has to hit, or you're competing with everybody to get the most darkness cards or whatever. I like being able to switch modes like that. That's really powerful for
and I'd say it's Wingspan also does that.
Yes.
Looks like we're fighting our monster. We're flipping over our 3rd thing. Is that what we're doing? Looks like Stack still needs to flip his 3rd one.
So when we fight the monster playing in this tabletop version, do you prefer going ahead and collecting the tokens to get your total? Or it just doesn't matter? What do you think?
I don't think it doesn't matter. You're just talking about for what you add up to.
Correct. Usually I just use tokens for what comes out of Magic, and then just add what I have on cards in my head.
Right. Yeah, that's what we still do on here.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
Seems like a lot of grabbing and pulling if you weren't doing that.
Once everyone has to heal up though. 4.
We've got our party's cleric here. Look at all these healing cards.
Oops. Yeah, there we go.
Love it. Yes, the flavor is on point. I do like that this. So are we all kind of adventuring together? Is this like a band of adventurers, or are these individual mercenaries sort of racing for the glory?
I would say, well, I like to think of us as a party, but
Okay.
you do have your own objectives in the party,
Nice.
for sure.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what separates you is you've gotten adventures that you need to complete while you're out there doing it.
Mhm.
And you still want to be the best out of your friends, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
still want to be the best there is.
Totally. Sounds like my D&D campaigns. Like, we're theoretically on the same mission, but everyone's just trying to backstab each other. It's probably not how you're supposed to.
Shane, just a reminder, like the spell thing, like you just drop it on top, and then you get. I think you might have flipped that one upside down or something. But if you want to move, I can't touch things because I'm a spectator.
Well, I was
But
trying
yeah, I
to-
think it was like that.
Well, the
I think it's the other
knowledge one was down first. The thing that happened was it stacked weird the first time I dropped it, so I was trying to correct.
Oh, I got you. Here comes Tommy. There you go. I think that's what you need right
this
there.
That is correct.
So is this blessing spell every time you add to this spell, you're getting more victory points, basically, because this is showing?
Yeah, so that
Wow.
blessing spell right there, you'll every time you play another spell, you'll get one victory.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fun with the stacking, right? So there's those effects stack.
Yep.
Well, okay. So the spell slot has effects that stack. The weapons and armor and stuff, the effect is always just one time because it gets covered up. Oh,
Yes,
that's
correct.
neat. Okay, cool. That is neat.
And so the spell, you can think of that scroll at the bottom is a scroll being added to the spell. You know, as a wizard, the more spells I cast, the more powerful my spells become.
Right.
And so there's something I refer to in the game called the spell trap. To new players, the spells are quite alluring.
Yeah.
Because you get a bunch of, like you can see Wayne over here, he's kind of doing that dragon tamer. He's got a lot of tokens.
Oh my
But he
gosh.
doesn't need that many to beat the monster right now. You know, he doesn't actually need that many, but it is really nice to build up a good thing, but there's no victory points on the spell. You know, so at the end of the game, all of those victories don't count for anything. So again, it's about resource management and balancing.
Okay. But so he doesn't have to spend these tokens unless he needs to, right? And will they carry over?
No. He does not get to carry them over because again, it's like he's building up one giant fireball that he's got to throw at the monster with his token.
This turn. Okay,
And
this
so,
day. Okay.
Yeah. Every time you fight the monster, you'll lose all your tokens like that.
I don't know if you said this, Jesse, but also my wardrobe's looking kind of thin, and those are negative victory points at the end if I don't get some clothes.
Oh, you got to get some clothes on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
okay, so y'all ready to fight the monster? Did y'all collect from the monster stuff?
I haven't done the monster yet. I was going to clarify, when do we, because there's victory points on the cards we play versus victory points on the monsters versus etc. When do we count? I forget when we count those, like when they're official.
Yeah, so when you take a token or not, is that what you're asking?
No, I'm talking about, like, for example, my grizzly armor has some victory points on it.
Yeah, so at the end of the game, that 4 points, you will count up. You'll count out all those points at the end of the game, and that would be a total. Like if we look here at the score pad, you'll count those right here: journey cards and monster cards. What points you got from those?
But when you do cast your blessing, that's when you do get a victory point during the game.
Yeah, so you can see it that has a little circle around it that shows that it's a token. And that's the same with the monsters here. The bottom left, they have a circle around their little victory. When we kill the monster, you'll get 2 victory for killing that monster.
Nice.
Okay, so for casting blessing, I went ahead and got that victory point. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Let's fight the monster.
Let's do it. Does anyone not be able to kill him?
Hey, Shane, you should have healed yourself for 2 as well, because you got the 2 blood for this right here, but then it healed yourself 4 because you picked it during dawn.
Yeah, so
you would have healed yourself.
I am good on. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I can get the
So
monster.
if you beat the monster, then you receive. Everybody will receive 2 gold, 2 victory, and you'll get to heal 1. If you did not beat the monster, he still punches you for 2 if you can't block that.
All right, let's see what. I'm gonna look at Nerd's equipment just for an example. He's got 1 smarts there. Only 1 smarts, so he actually does not get any of the points for that.
That is correct. If he only has 1 smarts,
And
but he does.
he has 0 defense too, so he's taken 2. He's getting beat up.
I have a lot of defense.
Oh yeah. Oh the trench. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the trench on there, so he doesn't take any hits from him.
Yeah. Why didn't you move that over, Nerd? Just to
What do you mean?
just to mess with me? Why isn't this trench equipped?
The trench is equipped.
Okay, thank God.
It is.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And nerd, you were super close. You had the magic with that first card, the Arctic, but notice
that's
it
right.
had the flag just out.
Yep.
I know. I am also knowing that my partner to the right also had all of the knowledge cards.
Oh, okay. So he got kind of counter drafted a little bit. I like it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, look
You
at
can
all
only-
look at all this
You
knowledge.
can blame
over
your
here.
neighbors for that.
Yep. So you can put
6,
your tokens
6
back.
knowledge. Wow.
Yep. Who had the most blood? Looks like that may be Nerd. No, that's Bebo. That's you.
Bebo.
Yes, and that's after beating him and taking the heal. That's
Okay.
when we take the total, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
So that would be you.
You had 0 defense, so you also took 2. So you take 2
So
damage. Okay, got it. Yeah.
So my defense was interesting. So I had 1, 2,
Oh, there it is.
but then I had a negative, so I ultimately did take a
1.
hit.
Okay,
A
got
blood,
it.
correct.
Then you beat him, so you heal back up 1, and then you still have the most blood. That's okay. Cool.
Yep.
Just
So
barely.
he'll take that. He'll take that. Yep, and put it down there and bloop.
Bloop. And he just got worse.
Right, that removed that significant attack. Yep.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. I like that. I like basically when you draft a card with a really strong flag and you just like don't want to get any more of that type of card. But you can always sell
like
it,
this,
right? If you really don't want to cover up that flag, you can sell that item right away, right?
Yeah. You
Okay.
can keep from. Yeah, if you don't want to cover it up.
Okay.
Like I'd say, like Nerd's card here, 5 attack on 1 card is kind of crazy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that's the most you'll see with that 2 flag coming off.
Yeah.
We just wanted that whip thing to be incredibly awesome.
Nice.
It's kind of like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. So
okay, we got Power Rangers
but-
references,
okay, so-
Mortal Kombat references. Got everything.
and I got everything. I'm just a total nerd. So
Love it.
so we can see our monster evolved to be a corrosive, pulverizing
Ooh.
stone golem, and now we will add all of those things together. So now he currently has 6 health, he has 5 knowledge, and he only punches for 3, so he doesn't punch very much. And then he's worth 5 victory if you kill him, and you'll get 2 coins and heal 2 if you can defeat him.
That's big.
That's not the item we need, Tommy. That's our Yeti chest plate. There he is.
Oh, every monster has a specific item they're guarding. That's fun.
Yeah, they have a specific item, correct. So it always lines up with the name, pulverizing, and also down in the bottom right, a number that matches,
Okay.
so you won't miss that.
Got it.
And so whoever has the most coins after defeating this monster will receive the pulverizing chest plate right here.
Okay, Bebo is going to get paid off for hoarding all those coins. Does he still have the most? Oh, he doesn't have the most anymore. We got Orange. Orange with 9. So, speaking of Gen Con, and you go into Gen Con every time, I hear you guys are going to be at Origins.
Yeah, we are going to be at Origins. We are excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it feels like it's so far away, but yet it is
no, it's
just
not
like
far away at
not
all.
that far. June 8th, and so we're actually trying to launch our Kickstarter and be at Origins at the same time to promote the game, do play testing. We have a booth there.
Yeah.
We are excited about that. It's one of the entrepreneurial booths because it's our first year doing anything like this.
Okay.
So we were able to have access to the, entrepreneurial. If your company's no more than 2 years old or it's your first game, you can get an entrepreneurial booth. So we're
I
very
didn't know
excited.
that. I should have signed up for that.
Yep.
I've got a booth at Gen Con, but I'm not going to Origins, sadly.
Oh man, I definitely need to come by. I've been to Gen Con except for the year they didn't have it for COVID. I've been to Gen Con for the last 15 years.
Heck yeah, nice. I've only been
So
twice.
I definitely want to come by your booth.
Nice.
I saw them in their email that they said that every booth was taken.
Yeah.
They're sold out, 530 vendors.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy year. Yeah.
In comparison to last year, it's 320, so 200 more vendors this year. So that's amazing. So you have a game?
Yep. My I have Primordial Secrets. So that's releasing around Gen Con time. So, same kind of strategy as you guys in Origins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We were determining whether we were going to punt or not to Gen Con, but I think it kind of solidified when they said, all our booths are taken. So
yeah, exactly.
Here we are.
Right. No. Well, Origins is great. I mean, especially with that entrepreneurial booth situation, that seems like kind of fun. You're going to have people there like specifically looking out for, new indie game designers, and that'll be cool. Very cool.
All right, so we're moving along. This is the beginning of the second round. So we're at the end of this round is essentially the halfway point in the game. Definitely kind of took some time there at the beginning. Typically, how the game works is I would say we almost have like Tommy typically does this when we play or something, but just a field general who's just saying, "All right, everybody good, everybody flip," and it just kind of keeps us moving, keeps us on pace. So I would imagine that they are distracted by what we're talking about to some degree too.
Yeah.
So.
I was actually really interested in that discussion. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So you've got a booth. Are you all ready? Do you have everything you need? All your exclusives, all your things? Or are you still like trying to work out the details? Do you have like posters for behind you?
So we got our banners remeasured. I got a lady making those for us. That should be coming in within a couple of weeks. Nice. We have our table and a couple other. We got some promotional stickers, like water bottle stickers of some of this great artwork. We're excited about those. We have those already in. We have the pins. We have the card exclusive.
Sweet.
And so it's like if it's like, hey, you kickstart us, you back us, you get all these things just from our booth. And a couple of them will just be happy if you just play test the game. We're going to share with you too. So we're hoping to, kind of people coming through and play testing and having a good time. Last year at Gen Con, we did first look where it's kind of like you take a prototype in and you get players. So we did a couple of rounds of that and got a lot of feedback.
Nice.
That was a lot of fun. And it was really cool to watch 6 people that didn't really know each other sit down to play the game. That was a lot of fun to watch them interact and have a good time and play the game. Because most of all my experiences were always playing with people I knew or somewhat knew. So that was a lot of fun and gave us the confidence we needed to really move forward with all this.
And speaking of feedback, is this kind of game in its final? Like, do you think you're going to do any more changes between now and Kickstarter, or is this kind of fully balanced?
I think we're fully balanced. We're ready to roll.
Okay.
I would hope that we wouldn't have to make any more changes.
Okay.
But,
Nerd will find a loophole in one of your cards for you, and then.
Yep. I trust me. I've had people in the beginning who did find, man, that's OP. Like this is too OP. This strategy and.
Nice.
I like the game is good because it really does pull you in all directions.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of funnel to and land great scoring in 2 categories, that would be ideal. But you just get torn because you're like, I can't just not beat the monster again, and just those kind of things start happening to you. And so I like the the moan of a player when they're just like, ugh, because they're having such hard picks in their hand. That's a lot of fun.
Yes, I want to. I'm jealous of everyone playing because this is like my kind of jam. Especially getting to do the draft, like building out your character. Orange is still running around naked. I mean, he's got a belt on, but shirtless. Love it.
One thing Tommy did was he made a computer essentially play the game kind of thing, and we plugged in every stat, everything, trying to make sure that it's close to balances as possible.
Nice.
Just that there's enough knowledge in each level of play, because what happens is the way we had to break the game down is when you're playing 2-player, you play with a certain amount of cards. So you'll notice on a card on the bottom right there'd be some dots, and that's the player count for that you'll use that card with, or So we did that because it was an easier way than just trying to have people build the deck. Which some people would ask, like, well, we rarely have 6 players and we never get to play with these cards.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you, like, house rule, you can swap out 5 red cards that belong in the first set for 5 red cards in a later set.
Sure.
It doesn't change. It won't. It just. It will change the gameplay, but balance wise, it should be okay. Now again, it might end up being a little bit more knowledge, a little less knowledge, but it isn't going to change too much.
Right.
We just tried to make sure that felt balanced throughout the game. And once you get comfortable with the game, you can kind of make adjustments. I even play this one version just called Chaos Mode, and we'll be
throw it all in there.
We'll just deal out cards until we're done. It's like, man, I only saw 1 green the whole game. Okay, well, I didn't expect it to be balanced or fair, but it's just fun.
Chaos mode, I love it. So there must be a lot of cards in this set then. If you've got like cards that you're specifically not even playing, if you've got less than like, does this trench mean that you're not even playing with this if you've got less than 5 players? It's Nocturnal Trench of Darkness.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, nice.
So it'll only see play if you have 5 players.
Got it.
So we fought the monster again, right?
No, we did not fight a monster.
No, not yet.
You get 3 more cards before you will fight them.
And can somebody pass me some swords, please?
Yeah. Greens, blues.
Oh yeah. So now this is a bigger deal to beat this monster because it's 5 victory points. I think everyone's going to try to be getting that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a heftier price tag on them.
Yeah.
But if you got to put your position in to beat this monster, so hopefully you can beat that last monster who's going to be worth,
more.
9 to 11 points.
Yep. Okay, and the monster cards are in the middle, but no one knows what this monster is going to evolve into.
Correct. I think at the beginning of the game, you'll shuffle. There's 5 level 1s, 5 level 2s, and 5 level 3s.
Okay.
You'll shuffle them up, and then you just pick out 3 face down, and you'll flip them over as the gameplay goes. So that's one thing that was really important to me was replay value.
Yeah.
And it's like you'll never fight the same monster twice. I mean, essentially, I don't know if I've ever fought the same exact combination of monsters.
Yeah.
So it's always just kind of keeping them mixed up and different, and they add, the totals add up differently.
5, 5, and 5. So you've got 125 different. Is that right? Yeah, 125 different combos. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just with the base. Is there any?
Correct.
Is there any spell that lets you like peek at the monsters coming up?
No, there's not. That definitely sounds awesome. Like, hey, let me peek at that. I do like that. We have like some of the stuff that we talked about doing for expansions is kind of like powers and stuff, and like let me look at the hand coming my way. Because you're always like, is there a helmet coming my way? I need to know if there's a helmet.
I like that.
So, yeah. So right now, where y'all at?
Yeah, the game is moving a little faster now. Everyone's kind of got they're on the rails here. Almost at the end of what is it? It's not day, right? It's like week 2.
It's a day technically, so it's like we had 2 days and you fight the monster, then you have 2 more days, you fight a monster, and then you kind of have 2 more days, and you finish and fight the last monster. So about a week long journey.
It's a week-long journey. That's a quick little jaunt.
Yep.
Yeah, almost at end of day 4 where the monster is going to reappear. There's been reports of a corrosive stone golem nearby. Who's got the most gold now? 7. Definitely not Nerd. He's spending all of his.
Yep, we'll see how they play out. So there's a couple of there's a type of card called a consumable. And so it just basically, after you play it, you discard it. It's got like a little bag at top. Okay. And so some of those cards will give you 5 gold. It's like, I need a quick 5 gold. And so those really come in handy when you're trying to have the most gold on one of these guys. And it's a good surprise to see at the end of one of these rounds. And it's like, there was the swing we needed to be able to steal that item.
Nerd, did you just cover up a bunch of stats again? You crazy, man.
Nerd sewing up that offhand. That's what he did. He's got that offhand jack of all trades, that middle quest. He's got that 7 points locked up now.
That's true.
I think I just jacked myself up. I forgot this card that's got a flag that's got a negative spell. I think that put me just under.
Oh no!
I'm afraid I might do that too.
So
at this point, I know I will never slay a monster, so I'm just going for points.
Yeah.
Darn this game!
Jeez, Nerd, you have like no... Okay, you've got the barbed kunai. You actually could, if you've got 5 smarts and 5 attack. If this last card has
6.
If this last card has 1 attack on it, you're golden.
This is the first
Well,
let's see.
Would be a 10 minutes match too.
Dang it. You don't need 5 offhand items. What are you doing? You're just getting past all the bad cards, right?
So one thing that I can notice is like coming into the last round that we're about to have is that there's 4 players that aren't wearing a belt. And
snap. That's minus 5 points.
And there's 2 players that have 1 belt. So there's still lots of belts. So maybe this last round will be belt heavy.
Yeah, I haven't seen a belt come across yet that I can remember.
Once or twice.
That is interesting. So it's just you got to make sure you draft your belts.
Okay, speaking of flavor. At the end of the game, if you don't have a belt, your pants fall down, minus 5 victory points.
Exactly.
Yep, I'm off by 1.
Oh my gosh.
Man. 1 attack.
I didn't think it was going to be that hard to be able to get there, but that's at least 2 people not beating this thing.
I didn't beat it either. I didn't get any attack.
I think I just barely did it.
Who did?
You need to beat the monster.
How much it's going to hurt.
I don't have enough smarts, but I've got enough attack.
At least I know I'm not going to get hurt with my 9 defense.
Yes, I see you got a lot of defense.
Nice.
Yes, it looks like Bebo just barely got there.
I can delete the tokens.
That is the thing with this tabletop. I'm like counting, making sure I don't screw anything up.
Totally. And all the tokens go away. Last 2 days. Oh yeah, we get to find out who gets the stone mail. So it's probably going to go to someone who beat it because that person's going to get 2 gold. 6, 3, 8. Ooh.
Looked like Steven.
Sweet.
Oh, and you're not even covering up anything good. That's awesome.
I got a consolation prize.
Yeah.
Good job.
So blood doesn't reset, right? It stays on there.
Correct.
You get to keep all that.
Yeah.
Yay! I get to keep my blood.
Those bruises don't heal that quickly.
How
Which
does
is usually what you want to say when fighting monsters.
Yeah.
Not this time.
I thought you were building a cleric. How do you have so much damage?
I don't know. I've had really weird cards. I've
Okay.
played the game enough to know that I've had weird cards to
Okay.
use. Like again, no
So,
belt. So like I can't fill
so
it.
here's our
Oh
corrosive
my
pulverizing shrouded yeti. And so what's crazy is this is one of the lowest attacking monsters I think you can see. I think this is the lowest attacking monster
Wow.
we can see. So he
That's
only
awesome.
hits for 5, but he's incredibly smart at 11 and 9 health. So he's healthy. He's smart. He doesn't punch very hard, and he actually is. I think this is our lowest scoring victory point monster. So like this is
Wow.
actually a game you're not punished as hard not being able to beat the monster because he's only giving 8 points.
Okay.
And monsters will typically give 10 or 11 on the final stage. So
Nice.
you're not punished as hard not being able to defeat him.
Hear that, nerd? You're not getting punished for your crazy ignore the monster strategy. Maybe you're just like the bard, the party's bard or something. You're just along for the ride telling the story.
Almost definitely that's currently my hand.
Well, if anybody's wondering, I found the merchant that sold all the belts.
He also came around to me.
Okay.
It's coming to you. Wait, which direction is it going? Yeah, it's coming to you next.
Oh,
I just
Christ's
gotta
sake, I don't
pick.
need even more belts.
All the belts.
I think I'm currently in the running to win the shrouded piercing hide based on blood.
Yeah, so one thing that's crazy with this that I like, and you can really try to like play a strategy with this, is say if you defeat the monster, you're going to heal 3, but you need to have the most blood to get that. But the player with the most blood is going to heal 5. So there's a chance you can heal 8 off of after having the most blood. So it's a fun risk reward of how much are you going to
Ooh.
risk? How much blood are you willing to take?
Yeah.
In hopes to get that because you're going to end up with less blood than probably anybody else.
You definitely don't want to be the one with the second most blood, though. That's gonna, because then you get nothing, no rewards.
To touch on one of the questions that was asked earlier, when you have that spell chain built up, do you get every token that's showing in the chain when you play a new spell? Like in my stack, I have 2 victory points and a smarts currently showing from previous cards. So if I play a spell, do all those tokens trigger again, or do they just trigger that one time?
You trigger all 3 that are on the banner at the bottom, like the scroll at the bottom. You'll get all 3 of those. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Just
Oh, yeah, one clarification I wasn't a little unsure of. Do you cast the spell every time you play a spell on your spell section, or do you cast that spell when you do the monster fight?
Oh yeah. So when you play a spell on the spell section, that's when you collect all of it. So you're powering up your spell pool of items, tokens, and then you'll throw everything just at the monster. You don't just cast it once when you get to the monster.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no way I can beat this thing smarts. So I think I'm gonna go for victory point.
Yeah, this may be the smartest monster you can fight in the game.
That's fun that we got
that's
that weird.
really I'm not even gonna try. It's gonna outsmart me, so I'm gonna just try to go for points.
I'm even trying to go on an adventure. Just buy all the stuff.
Man, that was a really, really smart Yeti.
Okay, so does Nerd have the most victory points showing? He's got a lot of victory points.
Woohoo!
He does. He does have a couple of zeros also because he drafted a couple of the dark set, but he did that because up here he's trying to secure some of those points to come from the Call of Darkness.
Yeah, so those are going to add up.
So you can see that Nerd has that in the bag, all 4 of those, along with 4 offhands. So he has 2 of those secured, and the other one is spells, and he has 1 in the spell game right now. So, but that seems solid to me.
Yeah.
I can confirm to everybody's relief and joy that before the game was over, I saw an offhand weapon and a belt come through my cards. I just want everybody to know.
Okay, hooray.
We can all sigh with relief now.
I mean, to be fair, I started with like 4 belts and 3 of them were rainbow-colored belts, so should be enough for everybody.
I love this monster. He's like super smart, but he doesn't hit hard. Mm.
So,
Okay.
He's a more refined monster.
He's very refined, Yeti.
Everyone's resolving their Dawn cards. I see a spell cast over here by orange. Tokens
My
falling into the
tokens.
abyss.
Okay,
I didn't even
so
know it would do that. That was crazy.
yeah, so I need to clarify. So I'm playing a card that I can't pay the cost for. I can sell cards, but where I sell the cards out of which, like stuff that's already on the table.
Oh, no. So you can't sell a card out there. You can only sell a card that's like to be played at that moment. So right now, if you couldn't pay for that,
Yeah,
you
I
would
can't pay
sell
for
it
it.
and get 2 gold.
Okay, so I need to sell that card.
Okay, yeah, and you get 2 gold for that.
All right. I needed that offhand weapon too. That's -5. Oh well. Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to the gold cost. I was like, yes, it's an offhand weapon. So I put it into
And it was the most expensive card in the game.
Yeah, that's all right. Mm.
That is a fine hat you're wearing, nerd.
I know.
Anyone?
Yeah,
Gil?
we
Okay.
that I love that artwork on that hat
Yeah.
right there. It's awesome.
I like the strap of Valiance. I don't know which way you put that on, but I know which way I'd put it on.
Where's the discard pile?
Oh, well, yeah, I should also probably do
I've got to
that one.
discard a treasure.
Everyone's got spells stacked except for Nerd is not going to be a wizard by the end of this game. Oh, you are. You got a second. Okay, that's at least some
Yeah,
points.
from my desk.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So by the way, everybody gets a gold, don't they? From the
let me
without
see.
the trace.
No, that doesn't trigger again. That's just the pink, and so when the pink triggered, you did that.
Okay.
Just you receive a gold.
Yay.
And you heal
What'd
for
you call
2.
that?
Nice.
Jesse, you call it the peak?
The pink in the pink
Oh, the
area, the color
pink.
pink.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got his eye on it. See.
Mm.
Anyway. All right. Well, he said he liked to hear people groan. I was trying to
Okay. So is that? Does anyone have a hope of beating this Yeti? Is anyone gonna
No.
try for it?
Dude, he's sitting on a comfy chair in front of a fireplace with a tweed jacket, smoking a pipe. He's too smart.
Let's see.
He's introducing movies on AMC.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 over here
I'm
by
trying.
orange. Oh, and 2 tokens.
Oh, I might.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, -1, +2. You're at 10. You just need 1 more than this last day, and you'll have enough smarts. Do you have enough weapons? No, except for tokens.
This is interesting.
Oh, the problem is I'm poor now.
That's my problem.
4,
Yeah, this guy's too smart. There's no
3, 5, 6, -1, 5. So you've got.
So what happens when you're looking at your cards and you don't want any of them?
Well, that's called the "you're poop out of luck" maneuver.
I think orange is going to do it. All you need is 1 more smarts, right?
I think I got it because I got 2 of the tokens,
Okay.
and I think I had 9 otherwise.
Nice. Okay, so at least one
Yeah.
person's going to vanquish this.
I don't think I've seen a case where you fail a previous monster, then you finish the last one.
Yeah, interesting.
So this battle between the Yeti, they're actually going to play chess. So
Yeah, I know.
We're going to stand around and watch them play chess.
Yep.
Did we swap cards yet? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Anyone else close? I see a lot of cards over here on yellow. 5, 6, 7. A ton. Okay, you're really smart, but do you have the weapon? Do you have the...
So we are in the home stretch of the last couple of cards here. And so this is definitely the most intense time of trying to Please let me complete this quest. Please let me beat this monster.
Yep.
Please let me get one more of these for an adventure.
Please let Steven pass me a good card.
But I did
So, yeah.
pass a good card.
And then Stacks has still got a naked penalty going.
Oh yeah,
with his
offhand, and that's one of the main
Yep.
quests too.
I'm trying to rectify.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he is scoring, and that was the difficulty in it. If you passed on it at any point, or just not seeing them, because other people are going to be taking them, because it was one of the main quests.
Right. Yeah. So he's not. Yeah. He can't count on getting past one because everyone, like for instance, Green, who's passing to him right now, he only has 2 offhand weapons right now, and if he gets another, it's worth extra victory points.
Wait a minute.
Oh, that's weird. Nerd never saw an offhand he didn't like.
All the strongest parts of these cards are hidden under the previous card. But
It's just about the points anyway, so
yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if the strategy of just ignoring everything else from the game and just looking at the biggest victory point number wins.
Yeah, I'm flailing for victory points right now. That's my strategy.
Besides, hilariously enough, I have the same statistics like our lovely Yeti in the space form.
Yeah,
I wanted to beat him.
Just all defense, yeah.
But we hope you smell better than the Yeti. I'm going to trust that.
Tommy, did you beat him?
9,
No.
10, 8.
I don't have it in my third set of cards. I don't know where they are.
Yeah, Nerd can take a beating of 9 and still block it all.
Tommy, did some of those cards not get past Wayne?
Yeah, Tommy's looking at all the cards.
He should have 2 cards. He does.
Oh, I
2.
can't see him. It's really not going to matter.
You're playing and you can see everybody's hand?
No, I can see that he has 2 cards here.
Oh, there's one. Okay, that one showed up. I get one now.
I'm about to say,
Okay,
it shows them in front of you, Tommy.
Yeah.
They're what?
The cards, they showed up in front of you. I don't know what was up.
I don't know why they were. I can see them right there.
At the end, gold is worth victory points. Is that right?
Yes.
Certain number.
3 gold. Every 3 gold.
3 gold.
Yep.
So
Every 3 gold translates to 1 victory.
Okay.
I just want to point out that Tommy programmed this, and all the cards showed up in front of him. I mean, I'm not saying that there's a connection, but
well, apparently I'm not very good programmer because I can't beat the monster.
Ooh, a nice chain lightning. Is Nerd gonna actually defeat this Yeti?
No, I'm not. I'm not
3,
smart enough.
6. Okay.
I mean, the Yeti, honestly, like in Nerd's position and how he played the game, and kind of looking into it not being a ferocious monster that was worth a lot of victory, the second and third rounds, kind of works out to his favor for sure.
True, yeah.
You know, and how he kind of played his strategy. So
ignore the monster. Yeah.
I would definitely see it working out.
Okay, Nerd just healed everyone for 1.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
everybody heals for 1.
And double belt. The Radiant Hurricane.
What is
Can I defeat it? Actually, that's a good question. But I should still not be smart enough.
Just a little shy on smart, said.
all right, everybody, take a gold. I'm giving you a gold. Because that's just the kind of nice guy I am.
You have 8 intelligence. If it was another monster, Nerd, you would have had him. I love that there's 2 different values you've got to do to defeat the monster.
Yep, I definitely was like, I just didn't want 1. I thought it was like, I mean, it's kind of like I got to be smart enough to beat him, and I got to be strong enough, and it felt right.
Nice. I've never met. I guess I didn't know Yetis were so smart, but I'll buy it.
I just assumed that they were in the same category as us, like the gorilla family or something.
Oh,
So
okay. I see.
that's kind of that's why I put him in the smart category.
Okay. I see that.
Do we count? Do we already get the points? Whoever beat him?
Not yet.
I absolutely did not beat him.
I am confirming.
Are you? I went on the game show. Are you smarter than a Yeti? And I went away prizes.
But I wasn't smarter than the slime.
It looks like Wayne's got that 10 blood. I think he might have that sewed up.
Dang, I can't even
Well,
believe
anybody
enough to
has-
do something.
How did you get
Yeah.
so damaged? Was it all the cards you drafted hurt you this round or something? Looks like.
Oh, the Yeti did 7 damage to me.
Ah.
Wow.
How hard is
Seven
that?
damage? How did you
He
seven?
went with the no
1, 2,
defense.
3, 4, 5. He only does 7 damage.
He only does 7?
He only does 5.
He doesn't even do that.
Hold
He does
on a
4,
second.
doesn't he? I thought he only did 4.
He does 5. He has 5.
Oh,
attacks.
I was counting his hearts. I'm
You still have armor,
That's
so you
just
should
proof
take
that I'm
any.
too dumb to fight him.
Yeah, you've got so much armor. He does like no damage to you, I think.
All right, so he does 5. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, I'm good to go.
2.
He was just cheating. You get to that.
You get that weapon, that armor.
Hey, you got to get it somewhere.
Yeah, he didn't hurt me.
When the accountants come out, you know what? I actually beat the monster.
So that's really good for stacks then, because if he gets that shrouded thing, he's going to heal back up. That's a lot of victory points. It's a big swing. 8 victory
Yeah,
points.
so
swing.
and it's worth it's
Yeah.
it's an 8 victory point swing if you actually have 5 to heal.
Yeah, there you go. I think you get it. I
How
think
is
you get
it-
it taxed.
How is it an 8 victory point?
Because blood is negative.
Because you're going to remove
Yeah.
5 damage,
Oh,
which is
right,
each of
because
those
of
is a
that.
negative
I gotcha.
victory.
I got you. All right. And then I got this. Nice. I'll take it. Thanks for not being more hurt than me, Wayne. That was a very friendly thing of you.
It'd have been nicer if it was an offhand item for you. That would have been nice.
Oh, geez, that would have been
Oh, that
a
would
13-point swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse, you want to read these off here so we can count them out?
Yeah. So go ahead if you want to.
Yeah.
We'll do our Call of the Darkness. So if you have 2, you get 3 points. If you have 3 dark cards, you get 5 points. If you have 4 dark cards, you get 7 points.
I don't think
1
I
or
did
0 net you none.
Your rainbow card, you can, if you can, at this point,
Oh, right. I
you
do have a
can,
right.
it can only be, you only can use it one time, or it can
Yeah.
only be one color.
You establish the color, and it applies to quests and adventures as
Mm.
that one color. So you establish it now what you want it to be. It can't be a dark card for this purpose, and then for one of your adventures, be a red card.
Right. Let me make sure I've got enough.
Yeah, the adventures. That's a whole thing that I've been ignoring this whole time because I don't get to see them in people's hands. But
Right.
that could be a big swing too.
Everybody do their offhand.
So offhand items, if you got up to 4, you get 7 points. If you got 3, 5, 2, 3 points.
Okay, so here's what an adventure might look like. Have 3 green, get 3 victory. Small one. Have 3 blue, get 3 victory. He got there too.
Steven, did you get your points for that? For the
Yeah.
offhand?
Yeah, I'm tallying it on.
Oh, I was
And
going
then,
Oh, adding it on the counter itself.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? 3 for
Oh.
5? Oops.
Should we be putting that on the counter?
Oh, I will do it in a second, but we gotta do these first, the quest first.
Oh.
I'm about to say these. You just collect your quests. You just collect the points, and those go into the point category on the counter.
I've been ticking up my what's this thing?
It doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, that's what you tick up.
I got
Oh, so
4
that's okay.
spells.
Wait,
So I get
are you
7
ticking
points
that up
of it.
for everything, John?
Yeah, I'm like totaling that from the scores on the. I haven't done the cards yet, but I did it for the quests that I had and the cards in the middle, the quests in the middle.
You would do it for the quest. You would do it for the quest in the middle, but you wouldn't do it for the cards down below. But in the
Okay,
grand
let me
scheme, as long
undo
as you know your score, you know your score.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm gonna undo that then.
Yeah.
I've got my points for the stuff in the middle.
Nice. So
Yeah.
while they're
Everybody's
calculating
got the other
points, we're
points.
almost at time here. So So we need to drop some links in the chat here. What's the best? What do you want people to be doing? Going to your website, probably, right? Following you on Kickstarter.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have
Triceratops.com.
Triceratops.com. Let's do that. Triceratops.com. Drop that.
Yep, and they can find our Kickstarter and everything just from that front page on that website.
That's awesome.
That'd be, we got social handles too. If they want to follow us on Instagram, we're on Instagram at Triceratops. We're also on TikTok. I like to make TikTok videos and try to be on that board game TikTok world. It's actually really informative, really cool. I like little videos, so that's been really nice too.
Nice.
We're also on Facebook at Triceratops Games.
Perfect. All right, so follow. You can play the game for free in the digital version. You can follow the Kickstarter. Are you sending this out to reviewers and stuff already?
We got quite a few people on deck working on that. So
great.
I mean, Tom, are we allowed to say all the people working on it? We don't know yet.
I think we can.
Yeah, we can say everybody.
Okay, yeah. So we got Rado runs through. He's working on it. So he put us on a. Yeah, so he put us on the Rados Roundup. So we were on that YouTube video as a quick mention last time, and so we're hoping that'll drop right around the time of our Kickstarter. Also, we got Stella working on it from Board Game from Dice Tower on the Dice Tower channel and stuff. So that's really cool. We're excited for that. Nice. Game Boy Geek is going to do a video. We also have some other people that we sent it out to. Someone hit us up and asked us if they can do a French kind of cover of the game. They wanted to kind of reach out to their French market and do a YouTube video for that in Quebec from Canada. So that was really cool. So we had that going on too. Lots of videos on the horizon. We haven't quite got any of them yet, but we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, gotta get the word out. That's kind of, in my experience, kind of the hardest part, right? The game looks sick. It's balanced. It's fun, but you gotta get the word out. Let people know that would be interested in this game.
And we got I don't know if you saw the Kickstarter for Marvel the Dice Throne game, and so that was really cool. And Nero, he made their video, and so we reached out to him. And he's amazing, and so he's doing our video for our Kickstarter. So he's worked with some really big companies, and we're just definitely excited to be working with him too. So. That email list, where I think we're about 250 on the Kickstarter follow right now, which is not quite where we want to be.
Right, that's a little low.
We still feel good about everything that we got going and just the momentum we're working with. So we're just still excited to be going through and making it happen.
Nice. Yeah, and this was an hour and a half game. It was a 6-player. I think we were kind of distracted and chatting a little bit. This is going to be seems like a good, nice, kind of quick, low to medium sort of complexity game, I think. So I think this is going to appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah, I wanted it to feel simple enough where you can easily grab it, but there's enough thinking about it while you're playing. You're just excited to and it fits that niche real well. Yeah. Time-wise, I think it hits that sweet spot of when you're having game night. Hey, y'all want to play one more time? So you can usually play 2 times within the game night time frame. Looks like our totals are coming in. People are totaling up their scores.
We got to see the winner.
I think I may have jumped it. I just totaled up all my stuff. I was at 51.
I got 54.
Yeah, but I didn't use there's a scorecard that keeps popping up. I didn't use that. I just did it on my victory point counter.
All right, Nerd, did you prove me wrong? Is this the first Saturday you didn't win?
Second place.
Oh, second place? Okay. All I see is 22 on your score.
I did in the score pad.
Oh, I see.
Also 45.
Nice. Okay. So that was just ignoring the monster, going for victory points. I'm glad that strategy didn't take the whole thing down. Did you get all of your adventures?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. I didn't get all of my adventures. I missed
the weapon.
This one out.
You're not a weapon master.
But it's just a little one, so. No, I
Jared,
think
what did you
Nerd
get?
was playing a good game, but
Yeah.
it just came up short. And
Just a couple, just shorten a couple of little areas. Darn.
yep. And again, missing that monster a
Yep.
couple of times.
Yep.
It's not major points, but it does make that difference.
Yep.
Yeah, it does.
So, who was our winner?
Steven.
Orange player.
Steven? Oh, 70 points. Yep, that's
Woo,
nice.
that's big.
I was going to definitely bite it because I was not getting belts that I needed early on.
But
Yeah,
you hit
so you
all
got-
3 of your
yeah.
adventures. Yeah, you killed the final monster. That's big. And then
Yep.
just some points on these cards here. Yeah, nice. Were you getting victory points during the
Yep.
game from spells? No, but didn't need it.
You can see one thing that I like to take notice is like all of Steven's cards at least have 1 victory on them. He
Yes.
didn't have any cards with 0.
Right.
So it's just every time he picked a card, it was worth something to him,
Yep.
and it moved that counter a little bit. So
Yep.
nope, good game, Steven.
Thank you. It's even a blast when I don't make it, but it's always a little extra benefit to come out with some victory points.
Who had the coolest piece of equipment?
There's a.
This offhand Nerd has is pretty awesome.
The Orb of
He has,
Summoning.
Orb of Summoning.
Arctic Nocturnal Hurricane Phantom Orb of Summoning.
Dragon Orb of Summoning.
Dragon Orb of Summoning. Yes.
Dragon Orb of Summoning.
So it
I don't know if
summons
you're,
Arctic dragons, I think.
From the Nether.
Yeah, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. That's a little homage right there.
All right. So if you like Pokemon,
Okay.
Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, or Mortal Kombat, this is the game for you. It's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's got all the hints of all the things.
Well, yeah, and there's a pretty heavy D&D fantasy.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I really, one of my favorite things about seeing the 6 characters here is like, this is definitely a party of adventurers. Nerd is like the bard for sure. Stax was the cleric. I love it because he had all these healing spells.
Yep.
So cool.
Dragon Tamer was our wizard. He had so many spells.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's awesome.
Was that Wayne, Dragon Tamer? Was that you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And they're all like damaging spells. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I could just say, I know we're wrapping up, but from my experience, I did a play test of it myself and 2 other people. I think we were the first play test where it was just, here's the rules, play the game.
Oh, like a blind play test without
like, here's the rules. Yeah, so it was me and 2 other people. And the first game took longer, just like this one did. Because it was like, hey, but the second game probably went in half the time and much smoother. So it's definitely one of those games, the first round, there's some, how does this work?
Yeah.
But almost immediately it just starts clicking.
Yeah.
And just starts running real smooth.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thanks for everyone. Thanks to the players for joining us. Thanks to Triceratops Games. All 3 of the trifecta were here playing and chatting with me. This is definitely a insta back for me. This is definitely my cup of tea. So we'll be looking forward to seeing your booth at Origins and seeing the Kickstarter and backing you this summer.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next week.
I'll be good.
All right.
Y'all be good.